Eh? Oh. Oh no. Hello. I was not prepared for doing this. Oh no.
Alright, there we go! There we go! Hi! Hello! Oh my god. You can tell I haven't done this in a while. I completely forgot to have myself actually present for the stream. Talk about being late to the stream, am I right? Jesus.
Fashionably late.
Fashionably late, of course. Hold up, should I have you in front of him or behind him? I don't know.
Behind is fine.
I don't know why you're behind, though. That is kind of weird. Wait,
it's like I am breathing down your neck.
Hold up. Oh wait, I'm stupid. I forgot. It's actually because Virus usually got moved over, so it looked like we're sitting next to each other. There we go. There we go. Better. So, hello. Oh wow, a good amount of people now. Okay, hey Doorknob. Hi guys. Hello everyone. Oh boy, this is gonna be a doozy today. Nothing too crazy. I'm not trying to have anything too involved going on. Just wanted to come here and clear some things up because y'all may have taken notice, or at least people who aren't on my Discord server may have taken notice. I've been gone for like a month. And before that, I was gone for like 2 months, and there's like a repeating pattern that seems to be happening. So today, though not entirely joined by, but she's at least still here for maybe some like commentary if needed. I have Angel here with me.
Hello.
But we have some things to talk about. Oh yeah, and also there's Bite. But we have some things to talk about. Because a lot has been happening behind the scenes, as you can imagine. I constantly mention on regular streams that even when I'm not streaming, I am still fairly active in trying to get things done. Let me specify the word trying to get things done. So let's talk. I'm gonna be very messy in the way I'm going to deliver all of this info to you, so I do apologize if this falls into ranty territory. I did not prep any of this. I just figured I would come on here, try to clear my head, get things off my chest about the channel, about where things are headed, about why I've been gone and why I'm so infrequent, other than the usual explanations of just like, well, I have a life, and you know, I don't have to like really be as active. I'm not like some big channel and whatnot. Like, all excuses or general explanations aside, there are actual reasons why I've been so, well, inactive recently. So again, didn't script any of this, didn't plan any of this out. I'm just gonna get off my chest. But before we talk about a bit more in depth about problems, quote unquote, why don't I just fill you guys in on kind of stuff like good things that have been happening behind the scenes. So a lot has been happening. You may have noticed that the stream, at least so far, I'm not gonna try to jinx it here. Let it be known, universe, I am not trying to jinx this, but so far the stream has been running pretty smoothly. That's because I finally invested in a new hard drive. So I have an external hard drive that's running on a good 5 terabytes. So I've got about 5,000 gigabytes of storage to spend, and it's been allowing my bitrate and overall smoothness and just the overall like quality of my PC to run a lot faster. It has also changed the way that the bitrate of the streams work, so that may be why we are running on a much higher latency, and instead of a usual 7,000 bitrate, I'm running on like a 12,000 right now. In fact, I'm gonna boost it up. I did partially do the stream to test out the limitations of things. I'm gonna boost up the stream's bitrate just every so often, just to see what the limit is now. But holy fuck, this is so much better. Other things. I'll save this particular thing for last, since it kind of goes hand in hand with the main topic of today's stream. So we'll mention that later. Plus, it's kind of a big deal. And plus some of you on my Discord server already know about this anyway. Again, if you're on my Discord server, if you're in the Virus Backstage, you already know a good portion of what I'm going to talk about, though not the entire extent of it. But you at least know some of the things I'm going to mention here. Also, in the time since the last stream, I have also, of course, started working on a Christmas list. I am planning on decking out my room with a lot of cool new LED lights and other things. Just planning on getting a lot of cool stuff integrated into this room to change up the lighting. I'm going full gamer mode now. The room's going full-on gaming room mode. And then I'm gonna hang up my posters again and have all that cool stuff back up. And it's gonna be fun. Job's been going steady. Things have been going good, though, oh, no worries. No worries, Katoons. But, yeah, sorry. Don't make me lose my train of thought. Sorry. What else is there to talk about? Yeah, work's been going steady, though my hours have been slipping quite a bit, so pay's been a bit low, which also kind of coincides with something we'll talk about later. But yeah, overall, things have been smooth. Pretty much everything on the backstage has been largely normal. The usual chaos, or us just relaxing, hanging out in VC, just watching things together. The usual stuff. But in terms of things going on behind the scenes for the channel, for the dreams we hold as a series, for streams, for After Show Season 2, and most importantly, for Show Tour Season 3. Some of you may be wondering, what has happened to all that? And what is going on with all those plans? Because I have constantly talked about in the past, there is a lot of big things in the works for the channel, and for the Virus Extra brand as a whole, and for all of you guys. There's a lot of stuff that I want to work on. There's a lot of creative ambition behind it. But as for the actual work and time being put into it, let's talk. So, how long was it ago? I want to say 3 months ago? 2-3 months ago, right? Something like that. Roughly 2-3 months ago, some personal circumstances were changed about a particular member of Starstruck Productions, this silly goat right here, and she has currently been in a different sort of living situation. I don't know if you mind me getting into these. I'm not gonna go into like super massive personal details or anything, but just to...
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah. So, basically she's been living with her aunt and uncle under a different housing situation and different circumstances in an effort to try to get things better back on track when it comes to more of her adult responsibilities and her adult life. And because of these circumstances and because of this change of scenery, even less time has been dedicated to the work on the projects necessary for, again, what is being called Project Recast. So basically all the stuff for Season 3. There is a lot. There is a lot we have to work on. Let me actually just real quick... Apologies. Again, we have a lot of time for this stream. I'm not like in a rush or anything. But let me go ahead and real quick grab our kind of like project layout from our group DM as a team. Because I just want to quickly address what all of those projects are. And also just to show you guys that they're more than just like promises. These projects, all these things I keep talking about, they're not just empty promises. they're actual projects that we're trying to get done. It's just other circumstances are getting in the way. Some brought on by our own fault, and others brought on by external circumstances that aren't exactly to our benefit in this regard. But we'll get into those in a sec. But yeah, let me just grab the project layout here, get a screenshot so I can show you guys what the current situation is looking like. I also plan on announcing some really cool other projects, because of course, why not just add more projects to the pile of the ever-expanding project pile? I sound like I'm saying that as like a bad thing. It's not. The project I'm gonna announce in just a bit here is quite exciting, actually. I'm really excited to show it to you guys.
I'm excited.
I'm really hoping you guys are gonna like it. But let me go ahead and get a screenshot of the layout for Project Recast. So, let me just go ahead and add the asset here. Let's get it up on screen, everybody. It's gonna be a fairly hefty screenshot. It should be here, right? No. I think I changed the save file. Where is it? Is it here? Oh god, guys, I'm losing track of things, because I recently, because of the new hard drive that I bought and because of all the new fixes to my PC, I have been able to, basically transfer all my stuff over to the new hard drive, so now I'm having trouble finding where everything is. But give me a second. Bear with me. Please bear with me. Spare me. 1 second. Okay. There's the snippet. Alright, let me go ahead and grab this. How are you guys doing today, by the way? For those of you watching. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I'm surprised that anyone actually joined. But welcome. You guys are a pleasure as always. Thank you so much for joining. Even if this is a pretty simple, pretty bare bones stream. Thank you for taking the time to listen anyway. It is important, because, like, I've acknowledged in the past that whenever I announce things, I tend to forget to not make them announced or clear to the people who are only getting information through the channel. Because not every extra is on or in the backstage, so not everyone knows what's going on. So I tend to keep forgetting you guys, and I apologize. But anyway, let's take a look at this thing. So, this is the overall project layout for Season 3 of Show Tour, and for the channel as a whole, for Project Recast, as we've called it in the past. So, it's a lot. We have an entire new overlay, which in itself is already multiple projects being taken on by at least 3 people, and one of those people is up in the air in terms of her commitment, not because she's like uncommitted to her work as a member of the team or anything, but because of just life and also things like burnout and whatnot. I'm not trying to like make it a priority that she's constantly working on these things with us. And again, we don't even have much time on our hands, but I'll again explain that properly in a sec. So we have like an entirely new overlay, which on top of all the new assets includes a official design of Virus's bedroom, as well as a bunch of animations and other things that I will not spoil because I know I haven't talked about them yet, but a bunch of other like unique animations for like the loading screen, completely original sound effects for widgets and alerts. Also, I have Hollords, the official composer for the channel. He is working on a remastered version. I've talked about this already, but he's working on a remastered version of Virus Ventures to go along with all of this. And then on top of all of that, there's also logos for the channel, for the Spotify, for the merch store. The logo for Pass the Torch is already done. The logo for Starstruck is already done. A logo for the series, The Dreams We Hold. A logo for some characters who I've not introduced to any of you yet, but there are some characters in The Dreams We Hold that I've not revealed yet. They have like an official logo in the series, or I want them to. So like on top of all those things, we also have, I'm planning on having another opening lore animation. I'm not going to spoil anything about it, though maybe you can pick apart an idea of what it's about from the title. Probably not. I think I made the title just vague enough. But there's planning on being another lore animation to open up the stream when it's finished. New stills with a new design for Virus and Phantom. A official like merch set of a bunch of posters. I've talked about these before. And then of course like a trailer to announce all of this. So it's a lot. It's a lot going into this. In fact, this is the layout after I cut out projects that aren't necessarily like needed to be done for season 3 to start. Like official reference sheets and lore for characters, and new emotes for the backstage for the members to play with. Like, all of that stuff can be held off, but even with those things cut, it is cutting out a lot of work that is going in, but it's still not changing the amount of work going out. Like, look at all of this. Look at how much stuff there is. Look at the sheer amount of things that we have to do, or that I want to work on. And then on top of that, to announce something that I'm currently working on, though I am hitting a bit of writer's block in the production of it, and so it's taking a bit longer than expected. And by longer than expected, I mean longer than completely expected, because I knew this was coming, knowing me. But on top of all of these projects that me and the team want to work on, I am currently working on a big collaboration project with a one of you guys, an extra, named Marshy Dreamer. I believe he's also a mod too. If he's not, then I'm crazy. But me and Marshy are working behind the scenes on a cool collaborative project that is going to be coming out, and I am teasing on the in the backstage. Called, oh god. Should I? You know what? I'm not gonna spoil the name. I'm just gonna say, Contain the Chaos. Contain the chaos. It's the
chaos.
It's the catchphrase. It's the what is it called? Why am I forgetting words? It's like the call sign, the marketable quote to tie into the marketing for this project that I'm not going to spoil anything about. But there's a lot going into it. There is a lot going into it. Full on like scripted, written story, full on voice acting, editing, all that stuff. Releases on the Spotify, if that gives a little bit of a spoiler as to what it's going to be. But there's a big, massive project on top of all of these massive projects that I'm currently working on right now. And so it's a lot. It's a lot. And you think, okay, I totally get it. I understand, Virus. You have things that you're wanting to do for the channel. You have big ambitions. You have a lot of ideas, and you're just struggling to find time to do them because it's a lot. But like you don't get the half of why it's such a struggle to do this. On top of just general, well, me and the goat, we have we the autismo scrimblo, you see. We have the ADHD, you see. So not that that's an excuse, but it's definitely It's definitely a factor in all of this.
We're neurodivergent as fuck, okay?
Yeah, we're neurodivergent as fuck, and so oftentimes when we want to actually, like, take the time to work on something, this is how I imagine it's going. I'm gonna take this little explanation from a content creator named Ice Cream Sandwich. So here's how our general day goes. Even just like this is just like a day-to-day for me. I wake up. I remember that we have a bunch of projects to work on. I want to work on them. We go to start working on them. But then I start listening to music, randomly ranting about TV shows and other random topics. Next thing you know, 5 hours have passed and we've done absolutely nothing. So then we're like, okay, let's try to focus on one of the other projects, maybe something a bit smaller. We start doing that, do like a little bit of it. Then we go back to the major project. Then we don't do anything more on that. We get distracted again, talking to friends or talking to each other about random things. And the next thing you know, an entire day has passed and we've literally done absolutely nothing. That's pretty much a day in, day out, like a play-by-play of how our day-by-day goes. There's a lot more that goes into it. On top of us basically being our own worst enemy and being like the worst possible distractions to ourselves, I also have work. Because of Angel's current living situation, as I've explained before, she also has a lot of adult responsibilities. She's trying to find a job, she's trying to get her life back in order, and so it's taking a lot of time away to focus on things that are, admittedly, a lot more important. So on top of us just struggling to get things done for ourselves and basically being, like, just bad at maintaining focus, we also have real-world responsibilities that are taking us away and thus taking more time away from these projects being worked on. But on top of that, there are some other things that have been causing this delay, or have been causing this kind of stasis. The reason that I've been like so inactive with streams, the reason that I've not been really having, I'm going to be honest with you guys up front, I have not been having exactly the most amount of interest in streaming. Again, not because I'm trying to quit YouTube. I don't plan on it anytime soon. This isn't like the last time where I lost interest or I lost investment in wanting to stream and was just like, I need a break. No, it isn't like that. I just simply have been so mentally all over the place with trying to get past the situation with these projects, even though that there doesn't seem to be any sort of solution here other than to just wait it out. Meaning that, we'll talk later, but I think I might try to start getting back into streaming more. But we'll see how things go going forward. I do have that one project that I told you guys about that I have to work on. The one that I am planning on releasing fairly soon once I get it finished. It is not like these projects that are going to take a lot longer to release. This is a project that I am planning on releasing as soon as possible, as soon as it's done. I'm just struggling. I'm facing a good amount of writer's block. Again, on top of, I already explained, you know, ADHD be kicking my ass. So I will literally wake up and then make a laughably small amount of progress on just like anything. On top of being just drained from work and a bunch of other things that go into it. But let's talk about the current state of Starstruck, my team. Starstruck Productions. You guys know them. I've talked about them before. A lot of lovely people who have taken their time, their ambition, their investment out of their projects and put them into mine. And have been willing to work with me despite the fact that it is my first time doing anything like this. It is my first time really being the management of any sort of team. And it is my first time really stepping into a position like this while also not entirely being sure how to do any of it. And again, on top of that, just also not being any better at getting things done. But let's talk about the current state of Starstruck. So recently, actually, you know what? It just occurred to me. I feel like a change of music is in order here, since I am about to get into the more serious undertones of this whole thing. Give me 1 second. I think I'll just... What do you guys want? I got like Minecraft music. I got, really sad songs here. I got stuff to play. None of it's particularly, like, serious music, though. It's all kind of...
You put on Mice on Venus, I will cry.
Put on Mice on Venus?
No,
you said?
no.
Put on
no,
Mice on Venus, you said?
No.
Aha,
let's...
No. Guys, I think we should put on Mice on Venus. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna put on Hagstrom. Let's just put on Hagstrom. Anyway. Yeah, so, back to business. So, let's talk about... Clearly, Minecraft music is the most serious song. Hey, look, I don't have a lot of, like, just, like, relaxed, more chill songs. I have, like, silly meme music, okay? I'm working with what I got here. But anyway, let's talk. So, current state of Starstruck Productions is... How do I say this in the nicest way possible? Wonky. Really wonky. And again, it's because it's not only is it my first time ever doing something like this and running and directing an entire team of artists and people, other creators, other people who are working with and for me, but also it's their first time ever doing something major like this and having a commitment to a team and to projects of this scale. And just straight up being commissioned for some of them. So it's a first time for pretty much everybody on the team. It is a first time for pretty much everyone involved. Me directing and them working and being commissioned and working on projects of this scale, of this kind. And so it's a lot. It's a lot for everyone. And so I'm gonna kind of just go down by member and kind of just discuss where they personally sit at in terms of their commitment and their general progress with the team. Not to call them out or not to... I want to make this clear. This is not to call them out, nor is this to say, like, oh, you're doing a bad job, like, you suck, I'm gonna fire you, or anything like that. Like, no, nothing like that. Just to kind of, again, get across why things have been so stagnant with progress. Because there's a lot of reasons why. So, firstly, we have, I'd argue... I'll get through the ones that honestly don't have too much going on, but are still getting work done. Hollords, the official composer of the channel, and Virus Ventures, is, like I said, currently working on a remastered rendition of the track. Progress is going well. He has exams and other things kind of keeping him on the occasion, but overall, he's getting his progress made, and the track is pretty much close to completion. He's planning on, he wants to try to release it for my birthday, or at least send it to me for my birthday as like a gift, have it finished by then. So we'll see what he ends up doing, but overall he is just making a pretty significant amount of progress, and he's taking his time, he's doing what he needs to, and progress is being made on the track. So no real notes there. Just, I keep wishing him best of luck with things like exams and other personal stuff, and, yeah, he's pretty good. So, Hollords is all good. Then we got Astro, who honestly, it's almost never involved, so, not for any, like, bad reasons, just, he's barely active as it is, and I don't really have him working on anything, so, there's not much to talk about with him. And then we come to Skylar. So Skylar, the one who, if you look at the layout, is meant to be working with me and Angel directly on the new overlay, its respective assets, the virus bedroom artwork, and maybe some other additional things as well. It's a lot. It is a lot of things for her to do, and currently, Skylar has not been working on any of it. Nor have we been working on any of it with her. We had one meeting about all of this, discussed ideas, got ideas figured out, made some progress on the bedroom art, and have never talked since then. Like, never once discussed it. Maybe except to, like, change around some ideas for what's gonna go in the room. But other than that, we've not talked about any of this with her or with each other. It has basically been left in the dark, and there are a couple of reasons for that. Firstly, just we moved on to trying to get some of the other stuff done. But also because taking time away from her, Skylar basically was dealing with some artist block, as well as just burnout and other such things. You know, she has her own life, she has school, and she has other responsibilities, and she has other things going on in her life. It became a lot. And so currently, Skylar's just been kind of floating around in terms of doing artwork, like, in general, not even just working on these projects for the team or for me. Just in general, she's been kind of floaty about working on artwork. I have not talked to her recently to kind of get a sense of, like, what she's currently doing with herself. But I'm gonna assume she's focusing on school, and all the more power to her. But just, again, she's taking time away to really get her bearings, and I don't want to be pushy about trying to get her to get back into these projects again. But it's starting to dawn on me the very, very minor amount of progress that's been made overall. And so I'm kind of stuck not knowing what to do, because I don't want to hurt her, but I also don't want the project to never get done, obviously. So you can see where I'm at a crossroads as the director, and you can see where everyone, or like where certain team members are putting focus into other things, and it's causing projects to be kind of left up in the air. And then Cindy's in a similar regard. Cindy was assigned to work on new emotes for the backstage, as well as eventually the opening lore animation I had planned. Animation as in, like, it was going to be done in the style of sort of like a stop motion, kind of like, you know, those like videos of comic dubs of like people with like fancy editing and voice acting dubbing over like comic panels and things like that. They like capture movement through editing tricks and things like that. It's not actual full-on animation. That was kind of the style I was wanting to do it in. And that project's not like of importance until later, obviously, because right now I'm working on other things, but like, basically something happened, a situation occurred where me and Angel took time away from working on our stuff. But while we were busy, busy taking a break to focus on other things, I tried assigning Cindy to her project. I tried assigning Cindy to her project of getting the emotes done. And I'm not mad at her. I'm not upset by any means. It's just, again, piling onto the list of concerns that I have about this whole situation. But several months happened. Several months have passed, and she has done none of them. Not a single one. So none of the emotes have been made. None of them. And again, I'm not mad at her. I'm just stating fact to get the point across that you can kind of see a repeating pattern. The members of Starstruck are people who, I'm going to be quite frank, I just kind of roped into this. without really, with kind of too much ambition and too much, I guess too much, faith in mind. Or like, too many expectations in mind. I never meant to, like, intentionally harm any of these people. But I definitely roped them into something that not even I was ready for the sheer ambition of. And so it's caused everyone, most of which, by the way, most members of Starstruck are younger. They have school, they have responsibilities, they have other things in their life that they are dedicated to. I am not one of them, and I completely understand that. And it's why progress has been laughably small, because their wants, their needs, you know, they obviously reside elsewhere. And so when projects have been given out, laughably small progress has been made because no one's bothering to make any progress. Not even me. For, again, personal reasons, more often than not, but also because of me, myself, pretty much all of us are, like, autismo scrimblo. Pretty much all of us are autistic, I think. Or at the very least, just very neurodivergent. Which, again, we already talked about, causes us to wake up, have an idea for the day, but then that idea gets shafted in favor of us basically having the attention spans of butterflies. We'll like, see the slightest other, like, topic to talk about or think about, and it's like, project? What project? Again, not a bad thing, just, like, a fact of life. Like, a fact of the situation. But now to get into some more of the much more involved members of the team. The ones who are much older, and one of which in particular is just a full-on adult. That, of course, being the GOAT. Here. Me. But let's talk about a recent situation that happened. Calling it a situation seems wrong. A recent... moment that occurred. I don't know how else to put it, I'm sorry. So basically, recently, all of these problems, all of these poor circumstances came to mind, not just to me, but to Angel and to someone who is currently in chat, the other. Like, if Angel is a dedicated member of Starstruck, the second most dedicated member is goddamn JPEG. He was, I'll get into what I mean in a sec, he was the head artist and basically lead on a good portion of these projects. He probably had the most work of any member of the team under his belt. The most amount of stuff to work on for me. And on top of more personal reasons that I won't get into for the sake of him wanting to remain anonymous in that regard. Or at the very least just, like, you know, kept to himself in that regard. And out of respect for him. There are more personal reasons I at least personally feel that were going into this decision, but essentially, long and short of it is that one day, he kind of went back and looked back a lot of prior exchanges, prior discussions between us, and came to the conclusion that I was in doubt about what my preferences were. Like, in terms of what my preferences were for whose art I, not objectively, but subjectively preferred. In terms of, like, who I thought did better at working on these projects and bringing them to life in their particular art style. I have never, to stress, and I have stressed this to him, I have never once had a problem with goddamn's art style. The problem was that I had a preference for someone else's art style and work when it came to her work on my characters and my world and these projects. And it became clear, though I never wanted to admit it, and it became clear to him, though he was worried how to address it, both of us basically were just completely aware that my preferences with art style clearly lied with somebody else that wasn't him, and we just didn't know how to get out of this corner that we had backed ourselves into, essentially. So basically, after the cat came out of the bag, after everything had come clean, we spent a good, it was over the course of at least 2 days, but it was a good 8, maybe 9 hours of discussion. And by that I mean us trying to talk, but real life stuff kept getting in the way. We kept getting called away to do other things. But when we finally had the time to sit down and talk, we had a pretty thorough discussion about all of this, about the circumstances and roles of Goddamn and the other member in question, the other member whose art style I preferred, that being Angel. The goat's sitting right here. 1 second.
Oh, well, I guess it's just me again. Oh, and bite.
Meow.
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 Meh.
Sorry, quick pop in for my stepdad.
Oh.
But anyway, so basically, the whole circumstance is that for a long time, I had Goddamn working on a lot of projects, and I mean a lot, a lot of stuff. Posters, reference sheets for characters, stills for the new redesigns of Virus and Phantom, on top of so many other projects. Hello, Peppino Spaghetti. Welcome to the stream. Quite an odd stream for you to join. We're talking about projects and the such for the future of the channel. No stream, no games, just more of a serious talk that I felt needed to be had. Despite the Minecraft music playing in the background, believe it or not, this is a more serious stream, so feel free to stay if you want, but we'll just be chatting. Anyway, yeah, so basically the long and short of the situation is I had Goddamn working on a lot of projects. He probably had the most work of any member in Starstruck, next to Angel. These two have, and I just want to take a quick sec to thank them for that, have probably been the two most ambitious, dedicated members of Starstruck, of the team. Just in the sheer amount of projects I had under their belt, it is baffling to me that they bothered to even keep up with it. Let alone cared to. So yeah, thank you guys both for the amount of ambition that you have brought to the team and to the art you have done for me and for the team and for these projects, despite the larger circumstances not being great.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And despite my problems as a director and leader of this
You're
team.
fine. I mean, I'm also having my first time too, so I mean, personally, I don't really mind how much, how many bumps in the road we're going through. It's all new to me, and I don't know. I've been enjoying the ride.
It is a Halo. Thank you. I appreciate it. It is a Halo. I don't entirely know where it. Someone didn't wash their hands. Who was it? Who was the stinky nerd who didn't wash their hands? I don't know if you guys heard that. Bite played a soundboard. I didn't wash my hands.
I didn't wash my hands either.
Anyway, sorry. Back on track. Yeah, thank you, Peppino. It is a Halo. I don't know where it came from, but it's there. Let's not address it. Anyway, so yeah.
I'm gonna eat it.
Thank you guys so much. This goes for just any member. I have made this very stressed to all members of Starstruck, but mainly to the two of you, just thank you for putting up with me, essentially, is the simplest way I can put it.
Thank you for putting up with me.
So yeah, what was the outcome of this whole situation? Goddamn was clearly recognizing something that I was in doubt of, which is that I clearly preferred Angel's work, and I preferred working with her. I preferred working with her art style for my characters and for my series, and so clearly I had a preference for one member of the team over the other. So after a thorough discussion, with no hard feelings felt, or at the very least it seemed like it, and I sure hope not, no real hard feelings felt, and after some things being tossed around a bit and discussed, essentially, all of the discussion ended with Angel being promoted. Essentially. So Angel, going forward, is now not only head artist, but pretty much, I mean, you have it in your... I should probably just say what you have in your bio.
Oh.
Also, technically, Goddamn would be the founding member?
I mean, there can be several founding members,
True.
don't there?
Your mom.
True. So not only is she a founding member of Starstruck Productions, but she is now the head artist and lead pretty much on all of these projects, most of them. Because pretty much all of Goddamn's work, except for a few exceptions, mainly the new stills for Virus and Phantom and the Behind the Multiverse merch posters, aside from those, which he is still being assigned to, all other projects, including the reference sheets, including the... Oh god, it's a lot. It's a lot. Angel basically now has the overlay to work on with me and Skylar, animations for the overlay to work on, all the logos, a secret project which I have announced before called Project Milestone. That's its code name, not the real name. A project called Project Milestone. As well as just any other projects that I end up assigning to her. Now with the reference sheets and official designs for all of the characters, and when I say all of the characters, I mean the near 40 plus characters, she has all of this to do. It is a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot. And she was ready, excited, and dedicated to taking it up. Oh, yeah, I earned a new extra, eh? Welcome, Peppino. Maybe we'll get an alert later if the widgets aren't broken.
Yeah,
they
hopefully.
shouldn't be broken, but if they are, then I'll at least be notified of it at some point. Yeah, thank you. I'll thank you later when the alert appears. But yeah, so basically the current state, let me just summarize everything I've talked about because I know I've been very rambly about this whole thing and some of you have probably been struggling to follow and I do apologize. So basically, long and short of it, I created a team of people who aren't exactly completely committed to the projects. Not on their fault, but on my own. Because most of them are a lot younger, have more personal responsibilities and things going on in their lives, and I myself have a lot of things that keep me from being dedicated to the projects I want to work on, despite the ambition of them. Despite all the ideas and all the creative thought put into it, a lot of the projects that I want to make for you guys, for me, for the team, a lot of the projects we want to work on are not being worked on because of personal circumstances behind the scenes, but also because of sheer ambition. Because of just the sheer amount of stuff there is to work on. But the main problem is finding time to work on all of it.
I still don't think it's entirely your fault, though, because, well, you can't control, like, the situations in our lives.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to not make it seem like I'm mad about those things. Because
Right.
I'm not.
Of course not.
But just, I am in full support of my team and everyone in it. The fact that they've even taken an interest in wanting to work with me, though they may not have actually worked on anything as of yet, they at least have put in the investment into wanting, or the interest in wanting to work with me. Some more than others. Some are actually getting stuff done more than others. But it doesn't change that the overall problem that me and our team at Starstruck Productions are facing with getting all these projects done is just lack of time. Due to personal circumstances and other factors that go into it. Roles being changed around, the sheer amount of projects to work on, it's a lot. It's a lot with little time. It's essentially the overall problem. And it is because, though clearly, again, no one blames me, and I don't think anyone's truly upset with me, I didn't go about this the best way I probably should have. And I am still continuing to make mistakes as a director and leader of this team. But I am trying. And so, to not try to make it into a sap story or anything, but just to get it across, a lot of the stress of this kind of got to me, and I feel bad for being stressed out, because in hindsight, the artists should be the ones being stressed out, because I don't have to do shit. I'm no artist. I write shit. I write the stuff, I plan it all out, but the artists, they're the ones who bring it to life. And they've been doing a really great job at it. In fact, you could probably see there, just to account for this, just to show that progress is being made. I'm not saying no progress has been made at all. If you look at the layout next to me, you'll see percentages next to each of the projects, just to show like a rough indicator of what's been done. Not what's been done, but just how much has been done in a rough percentage to kind of estimate it. But progress and things have been worked on. Almost 50% of the logos have been made already. About half of the posters for the Behind the Multiverse big merch poster set are already done. Like about half of them. Though not entirely solidified, but they're basically done. Halfway done. The stills are almost done. Granted, there's still work to be made. There are still things to do, and there is still a lot to get finished. But the stuff that has already been finished, I'm not going to try to gloss over or act like it doesn't exist. The team has completed things. Stuff has been done. But it's just occurring to me the sheer amount of stuff not being done. And why it's not being done. And it's starting to worry me. My main worry, my main concern, being how much longer it's going to take. Not how much more stuff there is to do. That is already a good amount of stuff, but again, me and Angel specifically has voiced multiple times that she can handle it. And wants to, because we're both excited about these projects, and excited about making all this cool stuff for you guys, and excited about revamping the channel when all this is said and done.
And I believe I can do it.
And we believe that we can do it. But with the circumstances, looking at it and facing it, the reality of the situation, my main concern is how long is it going to be until we're done? And the reason that I'm concerned about that is because I have stressed multiple times before, though I do have some streams to finish, streams that I 100% have planned and do plan to do in the future, when I have the time. I still have some streams left over for After Show Season 2 that I am going to do. I am still planning on finishing Season 2. It's just that, do you guys remember the project I announced earlier in the stream? The one that I'm working on in collaboration with Marshy? That big collab project I'm making? I want that to be the end of Season 2. For story reasons. And I want it to fall in line in that way. So that's why I've been holding off, or at least that's one of the reasons why I've been holding off on getting the streams done and out of the way, because I want to try to time things right. But it means I have to balance doing the streams and taking care of them while also getting the big collaboration project actually made. Which again, I also mentioned I am currently facing a problem with because writer's block is hitting me like a train. And I am struggling to figure out how to work on it. And also, I keep getting distracted and procrastinating on it. Plain and simple. Procrastination is hitting me like a bitch. And it's not backing down. But my main concern, on top of that, is after the After Show Season 2 streams are done, I have stressed this over and over again. Once Season 2 had been concluded, I had planned to take a break completely from streaming at all. Like, entirely. So that me and Starstruck and its members could focus on getting all these projects done, and I would only return for Season 3, once all of this was done and ready. And Season 3 would only happen once all of these projects are done. But that means that for an undisclosed amount of time, an undeterminable amount of time, I will be completely out of the loop about a bunch of games that I want to stream for Season 3. Including some games that are coming out fairly soon. The first one being Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2. I had planned to stream that, but I had planned to stream it for Season 3, and still want to. Because I wanted my first time playing it to be special. But again, we don't know how long it's going to take until all these projects are done. And looking at the current circumstances, my own guesses in my head scare me. Because in my mind, I'm looking over here at like another full year or even 2. Based on our pace. Like just looking at it logically, looking at our pace. And determining, though I may be exaggerating because I'm stressed about the whole thing, I'm freaking out about the prospect that this could take like another several years to be finished. And so during those years, I'll just be completely out of the loop about a bunch of things. A bunch of games that'll release, a bunch of topics that I could stream about, but I won't be streaming about them. And because I want to respect you guys, and I also want to respect myself, and to make the first time I play through them blindly special, I want to try to avoid spoilers for those things. But that's easier said than done. Help Wanted 2 literally comes out in 2 days. And I know for a fact that it is going to be near impossible to avoid spoilers for the game. But I'm not just avoiding spoilers for maybe a week, or a few days, or like maybe a month or 2. I could be avoiding spoilers for this game on top of Little Nightmares 3, on top of a bunch of other games I want to play, on top of literally any other game that could come out during this time period when I'm not streaming anything. Anything that releases from this point forward, I'm going to be avoiding spoilers for, and I may end up having to do this for possibly years. And it's weighing in on me. Again, I stress that I might be exaggerating a bit, but based on our pace, it's looking like it could be that long. Simply just going off of the pace only. And yes, exaggerating because I'm worried. And so all this stress kind of pent up, and I ended up losing it at work yesterday. I essentially ended up just freaking out. It was a lot for me to try to wrap my head around. Also, apologies for my dogs in the background. But it was a lot for me to try to wrap my head around. And even more so for me to try to wrap my head around how I could have avoided this. How I could have tried to be a bit more, I don't know, I guess just lenient on trying to be so ambitious. You know, start with the small potatoes, not immediately open up with like a massive list of projects. I mean, seriously, look at how long this list is. And I know, like I said, maybe at least like 5, maybe 6 things on this list are already done. They are done, they're taken care of, but there's still a lot left. We've gotten less not done than we have gotten done. There's less stuff we've gotten done, than stuff we haven't gotten done yet. Stuff we haven't even touched. And so that's why things have been so wonky. Because a lot of this has been weighing in on me about the fact that while I call them my art team, taking all of the circumstances of the situation into account and just facing the reality of it, it's less a team and more just like me and a person. Or me and 2 people. That's still a team. A trio can be a team, but it's more like a trio than a full-on art team. Because the other, like, 5 members aren't doing anything. Again, I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying. That's the facts of the situation. And it's partially my fault, because a good portion of those members, again, are younger and do have their own lives, and I completely honestly wasn't entirely taking that into account. Though I never, like, was trying to intentionally hurt anyone or harm anyone, and I don't think I've necessarily hurt anyone, but I've definitely put a lot of ambition and stress on pretty much everyone in the team, including myself. And I've basically walked us into a corner that we can't escape from.
I must go, my people need me.
It's just kind of a corner that I'm locked in currently. That we as a team are locked in. So, do you guys understand? Are you following what I'm saying? I want to make sure I'm getting my point across enough so that you guys can understand. I may even make a post on the community tab later, just to make things a lot more clearer and less rambly. But basically, me and my art team, it is starting to dawn on me that we're not really a team, because nothing has been, like, solidified. And also because I continuously tell them that they don't have to work or, like, do this work for me in any particular, like, time or manner. But now, the more and more days that go by where just no progress is being made, the more and more days that pass by where nothing is getting done, no projects are being even touched on, and everything's just kind of staying stagnant, it means the more days that I'm not streaming, the more days that none of these projects are being brought to light, and the more days that you guys sit on here and wonder why I'm not active. Or you wonder where I've gone, where I've disappeared to. And in reality, where I've disappeared to is a VC in Discord. For hours and hours and hours and hours on end trying to figure all this out. And then sometimes just straight up being lazy and getting distracted by other things and procrastinating on all of these projects, including projects that aren't even being worked on by the team, but just by me alone. Like, again, that collaborative project, which I promise is going to release. But basically what I'm getting at is that it's looking like yet another year has passed where a laughably small amount of content has released. At least content that isn't streams. Content that's like actual projects or actual dedicated videos or anything like that. Not just me taking a few hours out of my day to stream a fun game and chill, but actual proper ambitious projects that I want to work on and release for you guys. And for myself and for everyone involved. And it has led me to a lot of conclusions. It has led me to really, really appreciate you guys for sticking with me. It has really, really made me appreciate my team, especially the members who are actually, like, working on stuff and are really, really dedicated, and that are my friends, people who I care about. Not just as artists or just as people who work for me, but as people who have their own lives, people who I trust to get things done, but also just to be there for me and allow me to be there for them. It has made me come to appreciate a lot of what's come out of this, but it's still... I shouldn't be ignoring the reality of the situation, and it's looking like the reality is that 2024 is going to come around, and the channel's basically gonna be dead. Like, almost nothing is gonna happen this upcoming year. Aside from me maybe on the occasion, when I'm able to, getting the after show streams done. And what's worse is that on top of that, what's worse is that because of the situation and the circumstances I just talked about, not much is going to be being done behind the scenes too, so it's not like I have an excuse for not streaming. Or it's not like there's some stuff going on that's more important behind the scenes that takes me away from being able to stream more. It's just... everything's gonna be stagnant, stuck, dead in the water, however else you want to say it. It's looking like 2024 is gonna basically be a dead year. And it's worrying me. It's scaring me. For a lot of reasons. None of which shouldn't scare me, especially if I have as much passion as I say I do. And I have as much investment in the channel as I say I do. But basically the overall... I would appreciate a hug. I listen, Pepino, I get like this all the time with my community. I constantly mention how much I appreciate them, but I'm gonna stress it again. The overall problem here is that I am a guy who came into this with a lot of creative ambition. A lot of ambition and a lot of passion that I still have. Passion that is only increasing with the more people that are investing in what I want to create. The more people who are finding an interest in what it is I'm making, or what it is that I'm wanting to make. I should probably be more specific. And though nothing is being worked on, those people, some who have also become more than just my fans and viewers, but have also become good friends, care about not just what I'm creating, but care about me. And it has made me come to appreciate those people a lot. So whether you just watch these streams, whether you're new here, whether you aren't in the Discord server but you still try to make it to every stream, or whether you're in the backstage, watch all the streams, and on top of that are also my friend, it doesn't matter like how you view my channel. I just want to say thank you guys for allowing my ambition to necessarily never waver. But even when I'm being sentimental and I'm being sweet and I'm being upfront about how much I appreciate you guys, despite being a smaller creator and a smaller channel, I also have to face the reality of why I'm a smaller creator, why nothing's getting worked on, and also just be honest about the fact that I am scared. and that part of it is my fault, and I have backed myself into a corner, and I don't entirely know how to get out of it. But I want to, because I want to make these projects. The team wants to. Angel wants to, because she wants to work on these projects. And also just because we want to have fun together. Angel has, like, I've only ever said this to her a few times, but Angel is essentially my best friend online. Like, she literally, I would say, is my online best friend. Next to, like, maybe Bite. They have pretty much cemented themselves, or at least in my mind have become cemented as, like, really good friends of mine. So I care about them far surpassing just, you know, one of them being an artist and one of them being my fan. They both have become friends with me because we've watched things together, we've shared interests together, they become invested in my characters, my world, my stuff, and on top of that, they've opened themselves up to me and allowed me to invest in them and their projects, their own ambitions, their own creativity, or even just their own interests, their own hobbies. Things they like. And we've bonded. And it's been really enriching for me as a creator, but also just as a person. I am a almost 20-year-old dude who could be going to college, but is instead here, essentially doing the same thing every day, but has a lot of creative ambition and a lot of ideas kicking around his head that he wants to create for himself, for the people who have invested in it, and for the people who have given him the passion to create it in the first place. I say this all the time in my Discord server, but you guys are the reason that I still continue to have so much passion for all of this, and it's never really wavered. But I have to be honest with you that next year is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. For me, for the team, and for you guys. Because I'm basically going to be dead for, like, the next year. I'm thinking. I'm not quitting, but it's looking like, aside from a few streams potentially, the channel is going to be dead. So that these projects can get done, and so that when I do finally return, and when I'm able to return properly, it'll be with a bang. It'll be with the channel in a way you've never seen before. And again, that's my ambition talking, but we need to actually get to that result. And unfortunately, we just can't. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't have a solution. Because the reason that no progress is being made are because... Go and study instead of talking? No, I don't have college. I don't have to go to college, I'm just saying. Context for that I probably should have specified. Okay, so basically I graduated high school, and after like years and years of dedicated work to my academics, I graduated high school, and then not long after graduated college, because I took college while in high school. I was dual enrolled. I took college and high school at the same time. And so when I graduated, not long after, I got my associate's degree in college, but on top of that, I was in a program that I was in for a long time as a volunteer and also a member. And after I graduated high school, I was also given a 2-year prepaid free scholarship to any school in my state. And I know all of you right now are collectively going to be like, what the fuck, man? Do that! But again, I could be doing that, but I'm here because I want to be. So I would appreciate if the decision was respected. I do plan on getting back to college at some point, which is another thing that'll play into this in the future. I do plan on going back to college at some point. I'm just working through more personal reasons as to why I'm not. My reasons for not going to college is a lot more personal. There's no real like financial reasons why I can't be going to college or shouldn't be. A lot of the reasons why I'm not is more personal. So I would appreciate if that was respected. I do plan on going back to college at some point, and when I do, that'll be yet another thing that takes time away from this. But that's just the point I wanted to get across. I am a creator who has a lot of ambition. I'm often not noticed for that ambition, and I don't expect to be. I'm not saying that I don't appreciate. In fact, I'm saying that I appreciate, even if it's a small community, it's a small audience, I am immensely, immensely grateful for the community we have here, despite how small it is. And I especially have come to have a lot more appreciation for the people in my community who have become friends offline, or like just off stream. What do I want to go to college to learn? For most of my life, it's always been just something within an engineering field. I've always wanted a career as an engineer, but I've never really solidified what type of engineering I want to go in to study. And also just that has been conflicting recently with my passion for things like writing or music or things like that. And so there's a good amount, there's a variety of things I want to learn. And I'm just not sure which path to pick. YouTube has been my way of expressing my more artistic side. My more tech-savvy, engineering, tech-obsessed part of me, that's been expressed academically, but YouTube has been my way of expressing my more artistic side. The singer, the artist, the writer, the voice actor, those sorts of things. My ambition, my creative ambition. And also just my creative interest. Like, it's not even ambition, it's just interest. I don't do this because I'm wanting to treat it like a job, though I'm unfortunately having to. I don't want to treat this like a job. I want this to be something I'm doing because it makes me happy. And your guys' support, your investment, and your, albeit small, involvement in this has given me passion and continued interest to continue having fun and doing this. And if all goes well, maybe one day the ambition could pay off and I could do this for a living. I don't necessarily want to, but it could be something I do for a living on the side. Point I want to just get across is that the channel's going to be dead in the future. There's a lot of personal and not so personal factors that are playing into that, into why. But right now, the current situation that I am facing is that there's not a lot of time to work on the things that me and my team want to work on. All these cool projects you see next to me on this big layout, all these cool things that I want to make, all these cool things I want to release for you guys, none of it's being worked on for personal reasons, and the amount of time it's going to take to get them done is creeping up on me. It's worrying me. And I just wanted to make that clear, while also making clear just how much my appreciation and my passion for this and my appreciation for your guys' investment in it will never waver. No matter how many people leave, or no matter how stagnant my community stays, and whether or not I become a big creator or not. I don't expect to become a big creator. I just expect to be able to do the thing that I want to do. And I need to put in the work to do that. And I'm not, because of circumstances that I unfortunately can't control. Circumstances that I can't control, you guys can't control, and my fellow team members and friends also can't control. But I don't want you guys to be sad about this. I don't want to be stressed out about this anymore. And so I just wanted to kind of basically just reveal that that's what's going on behind the scenes. We want to make all of this stuff that you see next to me and more. I want to make so many cool things for you guys. I have so many ideas almost constantly flowing through this brain of mine. Sometimes to the point that it hurts. But unfortunately, none of it is going to be able to be worked on in the future. At least not right now. And what's worse, but also not too bad, is that I don't know how long it's going to take once we have the time to actually work on them. So going forward, what I'm trying to get across is that I don't care who leaves or who sticks around. I just appreciate the support regardless, and I'm doing this because I want to, and because I want to have fun doing something and making something that I have had nesting around in my head for years. Believe it or not, I've revealed this before, but pretty much like half of the characters in the dreams we hold, and in my lore, including Virus, I have been working on and creating since I was like 12. Back when I started YouTube. I have been doing YouTube for a very long time and have gone almost nowhere with it. Until fairly recently. And that's why I'm so grateful. Because it took a long time, about like 6, 7, almost 8 years, and only recently have I seen even just a bit of a spark of growth, a spark of something to come, good things to come. But almost never in the near 8 years that I have been doing YouTube on both this channel and my old one, since I was like 12 years old, have I ever seen or even felt nearly as much passion as I do for the projects that I want to make. And that's because of you guys. That and because I just am having fun making them. Finally bringing all these things to life, and even more so, I've found enrichment in doing it with a team, with people who care about me up front as a friend and as a person, and people I care about as a friend and a person firstly, but then also as artists secondly. I am incredibly grateful for pretty much everything that has happened in the past year. To this channel, to me, to my community. Thank you guys. I love you guys. And I don't care necessarily where things could end up, but I am getting worried because I am looking at this logistically, and so I just have to be upfront with you guys and say that next year is not going to be great. It sucks, but it's for a reason. It's for reasons that I can't control, and it's for reasons that I can't necessarily get into, but next year is not going to be particularly ambitious or lively or active. But I'm willing to work through it. Even if it's going to stress me out every step of the way, I'm going to work through it because, one, again, I want to bring this to life, but it's not for myself anymore. It's for the people who are working on it, the people who have taken time and investment out of their life to invest in me and my characters and my world. But also for you guys who watch it, who invest in it because you have found interest in it. Or even just curious to see what I've got under my belt, what I've got up my sleeves. And for some of you, because you believe that I could do great things one day. That I could be something bigger. But I don't care. I'm just happy to have anyone at all. All 740 something of you. I really appreciate every single one of you. Regardless of how involved you are or not. You being here has given me passion for something I want to do, something that unfortunately is going to have to take a step back in its progress. Again. So I just want to say that going forward, channel's going to be dead. And so if that ends up changing people's minds and they decide to leave or say, to heck with this, that's okay. You do you. I can completely understand. But for those of you who want to see this to the end, for those of you who want long-time investment in my channel, my content, and the things that I want to make, that me and my team want to create. If you want to have long-time investment in all of this, I just want to make it clear now, it is going to take time. And it'll be a wait. It'll take patience. With me, with my team, just in general. And that's what I have to do as the leader of this team and the creator of this channel. And that's what the team has to do as the members, as my employees, quote unquote. It's gonna be a waiting game. But I promise you, that wait is going to be worth it. I promise. I'm not gonna try to make any promises that it's gonna get better. I'm not gonna try to make any promises that it's going to get faster. I'm just going to tell you that it is going to suck. Patience is going to be needed. And time is going to be needed. But when all is said and done, it'll be worth it to finally see all of these projects brought to life. And so even if some of you decide to leave, go right on ahead. But if you stay, I appreciate it. I don't expect it of you, but I will appreciate it. And I appreciate the people who have stuck around with me and my silly little channel. My silly, dead in the water, pretty inactive channel. Oh god. Stream is dying. Stream was dying for a second. Okay, I'm gonna turn the bitrate back down real quick. My siblings just got home, so it might be a reason to take this down a peg. Hold up a second. Let me knock down the bitrate a peg. Just make sure we don't die here. I want to make sure we don't die here, so forgive me. Oh, man. But yeah, just, oh god, it's really chugging. Oh god, it's chugging. Guys, oh no. Ye. Woo. Oh god. I'm gonna go back to 7,000 bitrate. Let's hope this clears up. I'm back. Am I back? Am I good? Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Hi. Sorry. The internet and the bitrate is being really wavy right now. I apologize. Sorry. But yeah, so anyway, just to wrap this up, I don't have much else to say. I think I've said everything I want to, but just to wrap this up, I'm gonna change the BGM back to our favorite track. To the typical thing. And I just want to stress again, thank you guys. Just in general, thank you. Thank you so much for any investment at all. Big or small, thank you for even just being here, for being a part of my small community and taking investment in my channel and what I want to create. What I want to create is going to take time. It's going to take effort. And it's going to take a lot of ambition. And unfortunately, current life circumstances are just not allowing for that time that is needed. Meaning that the channel and everything with it, my content, my streams, my channel at large, is going to have to take a break. A bit earlier than I wanted. But it's what's needed. Just so that everything can be worked on in the background. And I promise, no matter how long it will take, the wait is going to be worth it. But if you choose to take your leave, or if you choose to lose interest, that is something I cannot change. And you are more than in your right to do so. but I will forever appreciate the people who have stuck around and want to stick around to see this through to the end. And I would also like to apologize, because I don't feel I've done that yet. I would like to apologize to the members of Starstruck, mainly Angel and Goddamn, for roping us all into something that we weren't necessarily ready for. But I incredibly admire and appreciate and am thankful, grateful even, that we're seeing it through. And that you guys still want to see it through. And even if that changes at some point, I will forever just be grateful that it happened at all. I'm not looking to become some big creator, but I certainly do have a lot of ambition for what I'm wanting to make, what I'm wanting to create. And you guys have given me that passion. So thank you guys so much for this, for that, but also for just being here and listening. If you have stuck around the entire time, I thank you. For those of you who have showed up and have no idea who I am Virus. I am a small but passionate creator who's looking to make all of the stuff you see to the right of me, and just currently is sitting at rock bottom of sorts. I'm not entirely dead in the water yet, but I have things that I can't change. I have circumstances that I can't fix, and so for all of us, me, my team, and for you guys as the viewers and fans, we're just gonna have to play the long game. We're gonna just have to wait. And I promise the wait will be worth it. I have hope that it will be. But I will say there is a brighter end to all of this. I've said this every time I've had a conversation or a stream like this a conversation like this on stream. But if you want to keep up, or even potentially get insights into any content, or even just spend time with me and have fun and interact with the rest of the community and still be involved in the community in a more direct way, you do have the Virus Backstage, my Discord server, usually linked below every stream. You can check that out. We're active in there almost every single day, even on days when we should be working on these projects but aren't. Or just can't. If we're not working on projects and we're not working on all this content, we're hanging out and having a good time. So, if you guys want to do that, feel free to stop on by. But as for the rest of you, and for those who are still watching, I love you guys. I'm gonna go back to just relaxing before work later. And if I have the drive to do it, maybe I'll work on something a bit after this stream before work, who knows. But right now, I just wanted to get this off my chest, and I'm grateful for you guys listening and hearing me out. We're gonna get through this. The channel is gonna get through this. And even if some casualties are made during this, and if some not so nice things happen because of this, it is what it is. It'll be what it'll be. But it'll be worth the wait. I promise you. I hope so. So, whether or not you're gonna stick around or not, whether or not you've heard this and you want to leave the channel, ooh, you sound like such a bad creator. Whether or not you plan on sticking around in the future, or you plan on taking your leave, I wish you all the best. Love you all. I appreciate all of you, and I will continue to. You've given this little, this little guy, this little space boy, a reason to be passionate about what he wants to make. For himself and for you guys. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. I'm Virus. Thank you for coming to my show. And I love every single one of you. Mwah. Daisuke.